to VistaTalks, interesting discussions with interesting people from all around the world. I am your host for today, María Roa, and I am delighted to be joined by Dominika D'Agostino. Domi is currently working as a Vice President Global Growth at Vistatec. She is a localization expert and problem solver with 15 plus years of experience in the translation and media telecommunication industries. Domi currently lives in Austin, Texas, where she's also the sponsorship manager for the Women in Localization Texas chapter. Domi, you're very welcome to the show. Let's move on, as I have a number of areas I would like to discuss today.
Sounds good, Maria, and thank you so much for having me. It's a delight talking to you.
Well, it's a delight for us, I can tell you that. Let's start with you. You work, as I said before, for Women in Localization Texas. How did that start? Tell us a little bit about it. What is it that you do there?
Sure, happy to explain some more about that. So actually, my engagement with Women in Localization started way back when I joined Vistatec back in 2019. I just feel like the company culture encourages you to take, more of a part in the industry and the communities and do some volunteering work as well. So actually looking, at some of the examples of my colleagues within the team who are doing just so much and are so involved in the community, I felt like I also want to, challenge myself and start this relationship with Women in Localization. And originally, I started as events manager for the global team. And the work was supposed to be, servicing all the industry events and large conferences like Gala or Lockworld or any other events, and making sure that Women in Localization have their presence there, a booth, so, places to meet, and so on. Unfortunately, it all started, in the beginning of 2020, as we started learning that all the events were getting shut down. So suddenly, my role became a little bit more grim in, looking at this new landscape and the things changing so fast. And I decided to focus on other things. And then when I moved to Austin, Texas, I actually discovered that there is a local chapter, Women in Localization Texas, led by some of the most wonderful women that I met. And I decided to join and to make my contribution here more locally. And basically, it's been going very well. Initially, we started with some online meetings and things like mentoring sessions and panel discussions. And we did an incredible event for Christmas. So for the holidays, we had a magician, and it was a great networking event. But now we are slowly actually moving to in-person meetings. In Texas, it is a little bit of a challenge because it's just such a large state in general. And we are spread, between Austin, Dallas, and Houston. So many, many hours away from each other. But we are trying, we had the first event in June in Dallas. And now we are planning something special in Austin in November, which I'm sure I will be able to tell you a little bit more at some point about.
Oh, for sure. We want to know about that. And it's great that when you moved to Texas, you were able to find your own local group of Women in Localization there. That's yes. Really amazing. It's really a great part of Women in Localization that wherever you move, there's always like team close or kind of close that you can get in contact with. And if not, you can always do it online, which is also great.
Yes, exactly. So I wanted to say you don't have to be close, to a specific chapter within the US or in the European countries or, in Asia. There's also this global community that started also during the course of the pandemic. And, they have also their own events and online presence. So by all means, anybody can join Women in Localization.
I have joined the groups in London, the one in Ukraine, whenever they had all the trouble and all the problems. I joined that one. I joined like the one in Texas. Actually, I joined one of yours too. So yeah, I am calling everyone who wants to, and they can check all the chapters that they have and all the meetings that they're having around the world, and they can join the ones that they're interested in.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, I know you're also involved in the All Things Global webcast series. Can you explain a little bit more what is it and what your viewers can expect in the upcoming episodes?
Of course, yes. So All Things Global webcast powered by Vistatec is originally a brainchild of actually Suzanne Marie Frank, who is our VP of Global Enablement. And, the original idea was to have an online event or a show that could gather as many brains in the industry as possible to talk about perhaps more academic and intellectual topics. But it would be like an open platform for people to be part of the live audience, to be able to interact with the guests that we have. Ask questions, interact between each other, and really feel like the part of the All Things Global community. And, I guess the various guests that we had along the way showcase how varied and intellectual we are trying to be. So we had, for example, David Rosenberg, a global economist who talked about, the latest global trends around the world and the economy. We had Professor Sasha Strauss of UCLA and UCSD. He talked about brand and how to position yourself in this new brave online world that we're living in. Mm-hmm. And in general, marketing and branding, which was, I think, very inspiring. And then, for example, we had Al from the localization manager of Nike, who spoke about the power of words. And it kind of tied into perhaps, all the diversity and inclusion initiatives that companies currently have. But also it was, it had something to do as well with politics and different aspects of why words matter. So I would recommend all and any of these to our listeners, as well as I think you had your favorite one was one with Nicole Kittlebro of Roku. I think she gave some incredible tips about how to build the Localization Center of Excellence. So yes, I recommend this one highly.
I think that was so exciting. I think, I just think that anyone who doesn't really know what is the localized or how the localization world works, actually, I think it's a great episode to watch. I think whenever I talk to people who doesn't know where I work and I tell them, well, I work in the localization industry, and I have to start explaining to them what is it, how it works, what we do. I think I would just send them this episode and be like, here, just have a look, just listen to what this woman has to say and how we work and what do we do, because it's so great. I mean, like everything she talks about, the tips she gives, I mean, I feel so excited. She was great. I mean, like, I think she's amazing. I think everyone should look at it. People who doesn't know and people who knows exactly what we do and wants to some wonderful tips. I think it's for like new people and for people who already know and wants to get to know more. I think it's just amazing.
Exactly, because I think that's just a testament to how accessible what Nicole says is, because I'm sure that very experienced localization managers got a couple of
my God, tips. Of course. No, but what I'm saying
is well, as you say, people
explain it so well, so easily that I think everyone could understand it. But she gave so many great tips that, oh my goodness. No, she was amazing. And we had, you guys did a last one, like not very long ago, right? With Don De Palma too.
Yes, exactly. So we had the last one was with Don De Palma, who spoke a little bit about the post-globalization landscape right now, the splinternet, and all the concepts in the future. But we are living in the future, so the localization teams need to understand how to position themselves in this new environment and landscape.
Yeah. Well, and as you say, we're living in a bit of in the future. We need to always be looking to what it's going to happen and know it before it even happens somehow.
Yes.
So as someone who works in the localization industry, what do you like most about it?
Well, actually, quite a few things. The first thing that always comes to my mind is actually the people. I think that genuinely we have some of the nicest people in our industry. And it's, in my mind, it goes back to the fact that all of us kind of fell into what we are doing and into our roles within the localization industry. I don't think that, apart from maybe the students who are currently in college and, specialize in localization, this is the matter of the last 10 years, right? That we have specific maybe studies like MEES and other universities in the US who have this program. I don't think that most of the people who currently are in different roles in our industry knew what they are going to do, when they grow up, and that they will land in this particular industry. So that's always fascinating to me, to hear all the stories, how it's the origin stories, so to speak, how it happened, to learn about people's different backgrounds. Usually, everyone who works in localization is usually very curious. They have this curiosity about the world and the languages.
Yes.
And what's, around them. And also this, I think, idea to also evangelize and educate other people about the languages and how important it is to think, as the companies are growing internationally, about the languages and other markets, and that it all cannot be, unified to just being US centric, for example. You have to have a wider perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that's what I love about our industry. And then the other thing is that it's kind of like a box of candies. You have different, challenges, localization challenges every day. And the industry is changing so much with the development of new technology, with what companies right now need as far as, solutions to the problems that come up, that it just gives me a tremendous satisfaction to solve those puzzles with them and to find the solutions with them to the problems that, in the beginning might seem impossible. And then somehow through collaboration and through talking to the customers, brainstorming with our internal teams, looking at, our capabilities and how we can expand them, suddenly, we are able to find a fantastic solution and really resolve a business problem. So that always gives me a lot of satisfaction.
Yeah, that's great. I think what you say about the people, it's actually so true, because one of the questions that I usually ask in VistaTalks, being a host, is how did you end up in this industry? And as you said, like, yeah, no one did study specifically to end up in the localization industry, but it is true that it is all people who were super interested in languages, culture, and learning. I mean, like, they all have like this huge interest in learning more about many things. So I think it's quite interesting that we're all these type of people who can't stop, like, we always have our heads thinking and we want to learn more, and we're very interested in other countries. I guess globalization itself, like, we were interested in all this. Yeah, but
Exactly.
not in localization itself from the beginning. We didn't all think like the first day
Yeah,
of our life, I want to work in localization.
I guess at some we're in the situation where we and what it and what the industry is about, and now we are in the situation of other people we tell it is and trying to say it in the most simple terms. But so
Yeah. Well, as I mentioned before, you were recently appointed as Vice President of Global Growth at Vistatec. So congratulations for that. Can you let us know more about it and what the new position involves?
sure, and thank you for the congratulations. So yeah, I'm super excited that I have joined the Vistatec leadership team, and I get to work with some of the most incredible women, on the sales team and beyond. My role right now is that of an advisor and consultant to our chief sales officer, but also it's a more interdisciplinary role in order to, try to make sure to get more teams together and talking for the success of our customers and, of course, our internal collaboration. And basically, I will be also responsible for establishing account strategy and strategic plans for some of our largest customers. So yes, it's very exciting, and I'm really looking forward to it.
It sounds really exciting. Congratulations again for that. What impact do you think technology will continue to have on the localization industry?
Well, our industry, it's all about technology, and we've been always very technology focused. And I think that, now it's no different. I think that, you know, machine translation is something that is common knowledge right now. Companies are very curious about how to adopt different AI solutions and machine translation or machine learning solutions in their business. And that's something that is definitely not going away. It will just keep growing and keep expanding. I am not one of these people who think that technology would, in any way replace the wonderful linguists and translators and reviewers and editors and creators that we work with, or even, right, original content creators. I think that there's just so much content around the world that, perhaps it's not as visible to the end customer, but still needs to be approached and translated. That this is a great use case for machine translation. On the other hand, there always will be projects that are connected to marketing or, to really making an impact to create a user experience, content that is reactive to the, around the world situation that is happening around us, that will require, linguists and very creative approach. And I think it also can, as a linguist myself, I feel like it gives us an opportunity to be, again, more creative with our work and also learn and develop more in our profession. So yeah, that's my approach to technology.
Yeah, I worked for 3 years with artificial intelligence, actually, like creating, let's say, bots or like, I don't know how you would call them, but yeah, call bots. And I have to say, even when I was doing that, I did still believe like you. I mean, they can help a lot, but they will never substitute the people. We need to learn to work together, and they can make our life easier, but still we will need the human touch, and they will help us work, but they will never be able to do the same thing that a person does, the work of
Exactly.
so yeah, they're of a great help, but they need us, we need them. I think it's a great thing to work
Yeah.
together with them.
I think it's important, to embrace technology. And, at Vistatec, we do have many AI solutions implemented as well in order to perhaps handle capacity on with some of our largest customers, or to help our production teams and customer production teams get the work processed faster. But as you say, still it's up to those personal relationships at the end of the day within the operations teams and my team and everybody within the company that truly I guess give the meaning to our work. The technology is there to serve us, and to be used in a very smart way, but it's still the people.
Exactly. Well, I would also like to ask you, because at the end you're an expert in localization and you've been working on this for a long time. So what differences and approaches do you consider when working with an organization that has a high level of localization maturity versus a fast-going global type company with little to no localization maturity, or even a rapidly expansion unicorn?
Sure. Well, I love both scenarios, actually. When you work with an organization that, and I'm sure that you've heard about the localization maturity model developed by CSA Research. We mentioned Don Palma a while back. He was one of the authors, actually, of this approach. So when you work with one of those companies who are, very high localization maturity level, it's usually, some of the largest projects that we have. The companies have been doing this for years. It seems like you understand each other without, saying a word, because you are on the same playing field. You know what you're talking about, and the communication happens very quickly. It's very efficient, and still, challenging, because then you can kind of try to challenge those companies to go even further and maybe, offer some of the solutions that we developed for other clients that maybe they did not think about. On the other hand, the unicorns and the companies who are just starting on their international journey are just a passion project almost, because it provides so much satisfaction when you can work with someone, from the beginning as the partner, and lead them on this global journey that they are entering into, help their products to appear on international markets for the very first time, know how much work it took in the background, and also, help them truly, educate everybody within the company, or do this internal selling, of what is localization and why it is so important, and suddenly build a completely different relationship with everyone. Because in the end, it is the localization team that has so sort of ties to all the different stakeholders within the company who will need their services. So there is a lot of knowledge always within the localization team within the company, and to be able to empower our clients and support them with that journey is, that's a dream come true. And I also feel like, perhaps some of the most challenging and innovative projects or new services that we developed come from those unicorn or new to localization companies, just because they think completely outside of the box, and we have to follow them, or try to lead them, or work as complete I'm missing the word. Well, work in unison in order to, come up with the right solutions for them.
Well, that's great. Actually, we interviewed two unicorns. They're episode 98 and 99, if anyone wants to hear it. 98 was Diana Georgieva from Pleo. The episode, it's tips on going global from a unicorn's perspective. So maybe someone wants to go back and listen to it. And the other one was episode 99, Christine Schick, former Panda Dog, global considerations from a unicorn's perspective. So if anyone wants to go and listen to it, you're very welcome to do so.
This is an excellent series. So yes, highly recommend, Maria, and thank you for bringing this up. Yeah.
Yes, we will be interviewing for sure some other unicorns, and we'll let our audience know that. But we're coming to an end, and I think you mentioned before that you wanted to let us know about some event that you're doing with the Women in Localization Texas in November. Can you let us know, please, now?
Sure, happy to. So on November 11th, we will be actually organizing our first larger in-person event in Austin, Texas. It will be actually held in the headquarters of Procore Technologies, who are our sponsors for this event. So there will be some, drinks and snacks provided by them to kind of get everybody back in this mood of, meeting together, networking, and, spending time exchanging ideas. And the event will have a form of a mini conference, you might say. We will have TED Talks about specific topics in the localization. So 3 to 4 TED Talks that then, we can discuss and people can get to know each other. And it's just very exciting that finally we get to do this in person again. So please join us on November 11 if you can.
Well, I wish I lived closer. Madrid, Texas, it's a little too far. If not, I would be there for sure. Is it going to be hybrid? Would it be possible to join with the computer virtually or not? Is it only going to be in person?
So since we are trying to encourage people to come in person, we are trying not to tease too much the hybrid approach.
Okay, so not this time, Maria. I won't be able. Okay.
Yes, but there might be a way for us to at least record the presentations, that will be given. So that material should be accessible on the Women in Localization page. And if you are a member, you can always access all our previous materials. So
perfect. I am a member, so I will be doing that. So we came to an end. Thank you so much, Domi, for this VistaTalks. It was great to have you. Please make sure to tune in again to see or to listen to the next VistaTalks show, where we will be discussing more interesting topics with interesting people from all around the world.
Likewise, Maria, it was a delight talking to you. Thank you so much for having me.